What is up everyone, this is Yuri and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to talk about what are the different student campus jobs or student jobs on campus, and is it easy to get it, and what are their salaries. Let's get started. So before we start talking about jobs and salaries and everything, I want to tell you something, and that should be your biggest key takeaway. Don't just follow what everyone else has been doing. Try different areas, try different departments of colleges. You can get jobs anywhere on the campus. There is no rules that Indian student cannot get job in this department or that department. So that is my biggest takeaway. Now, if you're looking for just small answer, that is it easy to get student jobs? Yes, it is easy to get student job. It is not as rigorous as getting an internship or full-time employee job, but the only trick to get a student job is you need to do work, you need to be a hard worker, you need to be quick, you need to have relationships with your seniors, you need to have some contacts. Even if you don't have it, you will still get it, but it is better, it makes your chances better to get jobs quicker and earlier, sooner. Let me tell you how the university works. So there are many different departments on university, and majority of university is run by students. The lowest levels are all ran by students. So what I mean by that is there's department of project management, computers, electronics, MBA, and events and catering and cafeteria and student housing. Each and every sector has students jobs available. So that was my key point when I said it in beginning. Don't just stick to what everyone else is doing. If everyone is getting a cafeteria job because it's easy to get, you shouldn't just do that. If you really want to get into cafeteria jobs, that's great. If that's your major, if you are a nutritionist, if you are into chef or something like that, go get it. But if you are in computer science, there are so many different departments, there are so many different areas of the colleges where you can get the job and have some real world experience rather than just putting 2 years of cafeteria experience. Does that make sense? Okay, there's one more thing which I want to clarify before we get into student jobs and details about their salary and all of that, is that you are allowed to do 20 hours on campus job. On campus, I'm clarifying that on campus as a student you're allowed to do 20 hours, and during vacations, which is summer break and winter break, you are allowed to do 40 hours. And now when you do 40 hours, that is not considered as your internship, so that doesn't count in your CPT. So those CPT 9 months or 12 months, you're still saving that, and you can have that as a real internship when you work in a different company, not on campus. And now that we are done talking about those points, let's get into detail about different student jobs. The first and most common job is cafeteria. You will see majority of people working in cafeteria, and there's no reason why you can't get it, so you should apply for that. That's the most easy one. They don't really ask you a lot of questions. They basically just want your help. They just want to know you're going to be working, you're going to be coming to work, so those interviews are really easy. I'll make a separate video on how to apply and how to get student jobs and what makes special thing to get it into different areas. So I'll make a separate video on that. Let me know in comments if you really want me to make a separate video on how to get student jobs. So the other area where you can work on is a lot of campuses have cafeteria and events. Now they have their own special group, and they will be hiring students just for that. So I had many friends who were working for my Chico State College catering and events. So you'll be, when there's big events in the college, that's where they will, and there's always events that doesn't, so you will always get 20 hours. The other area which also very common is student housing area. That is another area where you will be working. Now there's two different parts, which is back office, and one is where you will be like a cleaner. So you will be helping clean the floors, mop the floors, vacuum the floors. That's another area where you can do the job. Those are the main common areas where it's more like where you will see majority of crowd go. Now this is the area where I want you to focus on, because those will help you build your resume and profile over the 2 years of your master's, or 3 years or 4 years, how many hours years you take it. So Each department in college will have a tech center, like a little bit of tech, and every college have some web application. There is millions of, not millions, but there is like hundreds of applications they use. Each application needs an admin. Each library needs an people who manages the data in the library and all of that. You will probably use some grading system, so there's maintenance for grading system. Blackboard is one of the most common tools, so there's jobs available for Blackboard. So these jobs I'm talking about are specifically for computer science, MIS, computer engineering students. Those are the area where you want to work on, because that you can put it on your resume. That will help you get the real work done, and you can talk about it in your interviews. Not something, how did you cut some vegetables in cafeteria? Those are not really helpful. So this one will help you get some real world experience. So for people who are doing MBA and MIS, there are project management departments, and there are a lot of departments which runs different projects. They want project managers, they want consultants, a student consultant, paraprofessionals. So those are the areas where you want to get in, where you will be dealing with different student groups or students and different parties. Those are areas where you should work. You should look for a student job portal where you can find all these details. So I know that you must be wondering why I haven't talked about grading job or teaching assistant job. So here we go. There's two different jobs which you can work for your professor. One is grading job, where you will be where you will be a student who will be, professor will give you an answer sheet to an exams or an assignments, and you just have to grade through it. Or if you're a computer science student, then he will give you solution, and then you just have to make sure that the program works or the code works, and if it works, then you assign the grades to it. Other area you can work with professor is teaching assistant job. Now that's the job where you will be running labs or practicals for your professor. What typically happens is, professor will give you first assignment, and then all the practical and labs are, that's where the students go and practice those. So professor might be there, might not be there, and when he's not there, he wants you to run and answer questions which students have. He'll probably give you like all the run through and questions and all the material and everything to go through, so you are well prepared for it. Those are different student jobs available. In fact, I'm telling you that anywhere you see a student working, that is where those are the jobs you can also work. You just have to look for it. Don't just stick to what everyone else is doing, which is cafeteria job and events job or housing job. Look at different areas of your college, different departments of your college. You will probably find something which you want to do rather than just working in cafeteria. I'm not saying that working in cafeteria is bad. Just don't settle to cafeteria jobs. If you get it, great, start working on it. Some income is coming through, but look for something which will help build your resume. That's my key advice to you guys. So I used to work for student life and leadership department. So that department basically deals with student clubs on campuses, and we used to run different events on campuses. And my specific role was that we used to have an application, and I used to be a consultant, and I used to go and train different departments. I used to admin that web application. I used to make changes to that web application. I used to train student clubs on that application. I used to help manage and lead the events. So those were my rules. So we had, from my campus, I had to travel to Texas a couple of times for conferences, and it was pretty cool. And I can talk about that in my real job because those are real experiences. I'm dealing with students' problems, student clubs, different departments in student campuses. So that's my emphasis, that don't just stick to cafeteria jobs. You should look at different jobs available on campus. This is all fine. What's the salary? What am I gonna get? Right? That's the question in your head. Typically, student jobs will get $10 to $15. I have not seen anybody who's getting more than $15 per hour. So if you count, you have 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month. So if you are, probably you're looking at $800 to $1,000 a month. And if you have made a separate video on your monthly expenses for as a student. So that's about $1,000. So you will pretty much get all your monthly expenses covered from that job, so you don't have to worry. All you have to worry about is fees. You will probably might save too. I know I have a friend who used to also work in restaurant. So a lot of campuses will have their own restaurant, and not only students come there, but anybody else can come and eat in that restaurant. So that is where he made a lot of money, because he used to get tips. He was a server over there. Server is waiter. So he was waiter over there, and he made a lot of money. He was telling me once that his daily tip was $50 to $100. So if you work there, you'll probably make more than $1,000 too. I hope this answers your question. If it doesn't, then please DM me on Instagram so I can answer your question personally. And also, I would love for you to make some comments and tell me what videos you want me to make. I would love to make videos which are more valuable to you than me just making random videos. Until our next episode, keep smiling and keep hustling.